Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. You know, I love my musical guests, and this one has an amazing story. And look at the title of this show. It's so awesome. I love everything about your bio. Welcome, Bennett Breslow, to the TED Show. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me.
Very excited to have you. How did you find me? Was it B Squared or
It's
Sherry
B,
or
it was B
yeah,
squared. Yeah, they're amazing. I signed on with them about a month ago, and they've just been
they're
hard at work
so
every day.
good. So kudos and shout out. I don't give them enough shout outs because they're really good. They're
Yeah,
really
shout
awesome.
out
All
to
right,
B
but enough
squared.
about them. Let's talk about you. So
Sure.
before we went live, we talked about origin story, and people love to know about the artist. So tell us a little bit about you.
Absolutely. So, I got my start in music a few years ago. I want to say I released my first EP in 2015. A little bit personal background. I'm transgender, and I just transitioned 4 years ago in 2017,
Awesome.
and it's been a journey, but we are here. And we can go back even a little bit further. In 2012, I really got my performing start as a Justin Bieber impersonator, and I was signed to an agency, and that was a lot of fun. I traveled around the country, and
Love
I
it.
had to do his dances and sing his songs, and so that was really like it was an interesting time in my life.
Now that you say it, I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. I see it.
You can see it, yeah. Yeah, as soon as I see it, everybody's like, "Oh, yeah, I could see that."
Yeah, it's funny because I did think that you reminded me of someone, and then usually I go, well, that's just because you've seen his picture, Ted. You had to look at his picture, but you're right. You a Bieber, I can absolutely see that.
Hey, I'll take it, so thank you.
What was it like being a performer of somebody else's stuff? Was it an amazing positive experience? Did it help you fine tune your craft, or was it just so much fun because all of his music is really cool?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's definitely like all of the above. So at that time, like I wasn't even like doing music of my own. Like I just had enough people tell me, "Oh, you look like him. You really look like him. Like you should look into like impersonating like lookalike stuff." And like honestly, thought never crossed my mind. I honestly didn't even think I looked like him. Like I was just told enough to like look into it, so I did. And like yeah, just getting on stage, and like it went beyond just like performing and like having to like essentially act like him. Like when you're signed on a contract, like they really expect like the most from you. So like as soon as I woke up in the morning, like I had to put on the whole shebang. And like even when I just went out to the store, like it was all like a walking billboard essentially. And so
Wow, so you had
um
to look the part more often than just the performance side of
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was it was like everyday life had to be as Justin Bieber. And I mean it was a lot of fun. Like I don't have any, ill feelings towards it. In fact, like I think going from that and then being now my own artist, like just the experience like helped shape me as an artist.
Sure.
Like I got so much experience from it, and I performed at like amazing places, like everything, everywhere from like birthday parties to I performed at a baseball stadium once, like for like
Wow.
this like entertainment night theme night they had. And it was just amazing. Like it was such a good experience.
So it
And
gave you kind of a basis, but how did you know that it was time for you or that you wanted to do your own?
so it's funny you asked that. So my contract was coming to an end. I think it was like a year or year and a half contract. I can't remember. It was a long time ago, but I had enough people telling me like, "Wow, like you're super talented. Like I want to hear like original music from you." And like I said, like it never really crossed my mind. Like I was just kind of content doing Justin Bieber. Like it was so much fun. And so I decided not to re-sign my contract and start working on my own stuff. And it was just kind of like from there I made friends with a couple engineers and producers, and one of them had their own studio, so I started going to work with him, and it worked out, and it kind of
What kind
just
of what kind of music did you gravitate toward? Tell them a little bit about your musical genre, or if there even is one to describe the music that you do.
yeah, absolutely. So originally I stuck with just like pop R&B. just because I love singing. And like I said, coming from the whole Justin Bieber thing, like it was kind of easy to, transition into that. Um, and then the last couple years, like hip hop has always been my passion. Like I love rap, I love the hip hop genre. So I really wanted to kind of implement some of that rapping into my music. So I want to say like music from last year into like up until now has like the singing and rapping. So I called it like pop rap just because like I was
Sure.
taking. Oh, sorry about that.
You're good. You're good.
It's my alarm. Let me turn that off.
Mine goes off occasionally in the middle of a show too. So you're golden.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. So yeah, so I call it pop rap, and like I was taking like pop beats and just rapping. Like I make all my own stuff. So like I write my own lyrics, I produce my own beats, I mix and master, I do it all in my home. And as you can see, I got instruments, a slew of
You
them
got
all
it.
over.
Like, yeah, your setup's really good back there.
Well, I
And your
got
microphone,
drums.
whatever microphone system you have set up and how you have it is exactly how I wish every guest would have,
Oh,
especially my
really?
musicians, because I can hear you. I can
Mm-hmm.
see you well. You've got enough good lighting. I mean, you've got the whole shebang. A lot of times, artists come on and their mic sounds so bad, and I
Oh
feel terrible
gosh.
for them. So that mic setup is awesome. All right, I have to
Oh,
ask,
thank
what
you.
about where do you get your inspiration from? People asked that before we went live. They always like to know, because of your background, does that impact the kind of music that you
Mm-hmm.
like? Or that was one of the questions, by the way, because people do read, so they read the
Oh, that's
bio.
awesome.
And so they want to kind of know your journey on as far as the writing and the inspiration and how that all goes.
Sure, yeah. So, and great question, by the way. That's awesome. Um, so like I get, I've been through a lot of negativity in life, and I love answering this question because people just assume like, oh, like he's been through so much, like his music has got to be like this, like, in depth about like his crazy life and stuff, and like I try to actually stay away from that and like bring as much positivity and love and light into my music. So most of my songs are like love songs, just about like relationships and being in love. And although I'm single right now, like I'm a hopeless romantic at heart, and like I just find so much passion and drive and just the concept of love and being in love and um friendships and like love and friendships and things like that. So actually a lot of my music is positivity about just like life and love and stuff. And like I do have some songs, like I released a song a couple weeks ago called Mirror. I'm Catholic, and I'm very devoted to that, and I love serving God. And so that
I
song
love
is
that.
actually about, thank you, yeah. And I don't talk about that a whole lot just because like in today's climate, like people have their own opinions
I
about
think
that.
it's
But
a wonderful thing that you just did. So
thank
good
you.
for you.
I appreciate that. Absolutely. And so I released a song called Mirror, and I was actually really nervous because you hear a lot about like the transgender community these days and like how it's not really in line with God and all that stuff. And like I didn't care, like I didn't want to hide behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be honest
Yes.
about who I am. And I prayed so hard for my transition, and I felt like that was definitely like the work of God, and like nobody can tell me different on that. So
Love.
I wrote a song about how God gave me the opportunity to transition, and I'm grateful for that. And I get to serve him every single day. And I'm proud of that, and I stand by that. And so
That's so cool. That gives
um
me chills. That's
oh,
amazing.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank
Yeah. And so I was really nervous about it, but then I've had nothing but love. I've gotten so much respect from people for that song, and like I've gotten a lot of feedback like, wow, like, I felt like that too. And so it was really inspiring, like just to hear people, talk about it.
It's
So
interesting. When I read your bio, I work a
mhm.
lot in the LGBTQ plus community
Nice.
here in Orlando. And
Hmm.
so when I read your bio, I thought, all right, Ted, are you going to ask him? Because we're here to talk about music, but it's such a big part of your journey. I didn't want it to not be talked about, but I also,
Hmm.
the focus is you as a human being. And so your journey and your transition is part of that. But I didn't want it
Absolutely.
to be the focus of that, because really then we're just giving life to that. And it's really your
Hmm.
music and your human being. We want to focus on the person. But so thank you for sharing that, because I think that's really
It's my
important for
pleasure.
people to see. But you just never know. Again, you included it in your bio, so I'm very happy that you shared. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so talk
Yeah, and
about 20.
that's
Go
brand.
ahead.
I just wanted to touch on that. Like that's brand new too. Like I transitioned 4 years ago, but I didn't come out to my audience till like a month ago. I
Wow.
was yeah. Like I've had surgery. I've been on hormones now for 4 years, and I was just so scared. Like just
Of course.
America's in a crazy place, and I was really nervous that like I had built this fan base. Like, what are they gonna think? And then I came out to everybody, and like I said, I've received nothing but love. So
Just love. I mean, and when I read your bio, I thought, all right, this is a brave soul sharing, as you should. And I'm sad that it has to be a brave soul comment. It should just be, that's your life. You're doing it.
right.
Do it. Live your life. You want to be happy. You want people to be happy. So kudos to you, because
Thank
that
you
I'm
very
sure that was
much.
a giant step for you to make. And I'm glad that you've
Absolutely.
gotten the love, because I think that's awesome. All right, talk about 2021 and your music.
Sure.
2020 was crazy, so we all had to
Yeah.
pivot and shift. But 2021 starting to come back.
Mhm.
Are you building on? Are you going to be doing live performances? Are you working on more music? Tell them a little bit about what you have planned for 2021.
Absolutely. So, I really wanted to push, like you said, like 2020 was crazy. So I feel like time kind of like stood still. But the privilege that I have with working in my home studio is that I can make music whenever I want. So like I really don't have any excuse not to work. So I've been releasing a new song every week since January 1st.
Wow.
And I finally feel like I've been doing music for a long time now, but I finally feel like I just recently like found my sound and like what I'm really good at in terms of music and things. So I released a song called Boy Into King this past Friday. I'm gonna let that ride for a couple weeks, and then the 14th. So I believe that's next Friday, actually, May 14th.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm dropping my next single called Lightning, which I'm so excited about. Like it's probably the song that the most excited I've ever been about my own music.
So cool.
I put a lot of time and effort into that. Obviously I do with all my music, but that one, like I really wanted to make special. And then I'm dropping the music video for that the following Friday, so the
Wow.
21st. And like I said, I do everything myself, and I shot the music video myself in the basement of my house, and I built the set and I did all the editing, and I'm very passionate
You're
about
a
what I do.
one man show on that. Most people
I
have
try.
multiple people involved in that. I think that the general public doesn't understand that shows like this is easy for me because there's no editing because we're live.
Right.
What you have to do for a video and record and then set up and have the set, that's a lot.
Hmm.
That's wearing a lot of hats. But I imagine that because it gives you total control over your music and what you're putting out there, that's
100%.
probably good. Yeah, I
That's
imagine. All right,
that's really why I did it. So,
let's talk about music. I'm ready. Well, you're going
all
to
right.
perform for us. So tell us what you're going to perform. I'm going to take myself off
Awesome.
this, and we're going to let Bennett perform.
Cool. Yeah. So I just want to set this up
Yeah,
real
take your
quick.
time, set it
My
up.
bad on that.
No, no,
Let me
no, no,
make sure
no.
this is
You're
connected.
good.
Okay.
You're so good.
How am I gonna do this? Let's see. I wonder if.
Take your time.
Okay. Can I just try something real quick?
Yes, please. Look,
I just
we're a
want.
very forgiving and loving audience, so you do whatever you want to do.
I apologize. I'm not prepared for this right now.
You're
That's totally
okay.
my fault. Yes. So the song that I'm going to perform is called "Boy Into a King." I just released it this past Friday.
Uh-oh. Now he froze. Hopefully he comes back. Don't you love his story as he's coming in, coming out? Hopefully we didn't disconnect him.
Can,
Bennett,
can you,
there you are. Yeah, we
can
can
you
hear you
see
and
me?
see you now. I
Okay.
was just going to keep talking until you came back.
Let me see. Tell me if you can hear this.
Okay, we're ready. I'm listening.
Can you hear that?
I
Did
can't
you
hear
hear the
anything.
music?
No,
You can't hear anything?
no, no.
Um, Shoot, let's see. Can you hear me talking at
Isn't it
least?
great? I can hear you talking. I can hear everything you're
Okay.
saying. You're good. You're
Okay,
good. You're good. You're
good.
good. Now, do you go
Actually,
by
you know what?
Bennett, just Bennett as your, because that's what your, one of your social media platforms just says Bennett, or do you use Bennett Breslow?
I typically just use Bennett, but Bennett Breslow's cool too.
Okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm fine with that.
Love it.
Actually, I can probably do this. Hold on 1 second.
That's the fun part, guys, about trying to engineer and get your own stuff. It's fun.
It's a process.
It's a process. And that's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand. You know, a lot of people have dreams about music, but you need to know a little bit more than what your parents told you could sing your whole life. I mean, you need to really kind of, you got to kind of understand the art and the science behind performing and making music and stuff like that. So, all right, are you ready? Do I need to, I'm going to let you get set up.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
You're good, man. We are a very forgiving audience, and you haven't done anything that's bad.
Okay, great.
This is one of the reasons why I love live.
Yeah, you see the whole process, right?
That's right. See what goes on.
Move my mic up real quick. I think I figured it out. We're gonna try this out.
Take your time.
All right. Just this and go like. Where did it go?
And then, guys, if you want to pay attention to what's scrolling across the bottom, you can find everything about Bennett on imbennettmusic.com, which is scrolling across the bottom.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Bennett.
You have ravished my heart with one glance of your eyes. How much better is your love than wine? Patience, voices in my head saying you won. No need to talk about it. Allegiance, waiting on my time. I think I got the one, baby, got me going. Crazy in my ways, stuck on but hesitate. Locked on in your eyes from that moment. Delegate, turn this prince into a king. I just can't escape, cause your love got me thriving on it. Mess up, make amends. True love, it never ends. Did my thing for a while. All the money I go spend. You the one who changed my ways. Hear your voice in my head telling me to keep on pushing, keep it straight. Temptation be it given. All my love you receive, lock on my heart, cause our time is coming. Yeah, you have ravished my heart with one glance of your eyes. How much better is your love than wine? Your love is my motive, no words left unspoken. Building up this empire doesn't get no better than you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Turn this boy into a king. When I was down and out, you was down to ride, holding out, gave me a taste I can't live without. You got me motivated, motivating, got me doing all the things we in my head, got me saving, we in the crazy in my ways, stuck on but hesitate, locked on in your eyes from that moment, delegate. Turn this prince into a king. I just can't escape, cause your love got me thriving on it. Mess up, make amends. True love, it never ends. Did my thing for a while. All the money I go spend. You the one who changed my ways. Hear your voice in my head telling me to keep on pushing, keep it straight. Temptation be given. All my love you receive, lock on my heart, cause our time is coming. Hey, you have ravished my heart with one glance of your eyes. How much better is your love than wine? Your love is my motive, no words left unspoken. Building up this empire doesn't get no better than you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Turn this boy into a king, yes you did. Yes.
All right. All right, hold on. I got to bring myself back. I loved it. All right, tell me about turning the boy into the king. What was the motivation there? What was the inspiration? What happened?
So I actually wrote that song. It was originally a love song, and I have my best friend in the whole wide world. Her name is Hazel. Um, she and I met prior to my transition. I was in a really, really bad place, like mentally, like my mental health was just declining, and I was in a really bad relationship. And she's definitely a gift from God. Like, God bless her. Um, and like she just changed my life. Like, she helped me reach my potential and just see my worth and
Love that.
build, like, essentially, like, so I wrote that song essentially from like coming from what I felt was nothing to now, like, I'm this man and I'm grown and I'm building my empire. And like every day, like, I thank God for her because she just helps me feel like this king, and like I'm building my kingdom and my empire. And so yeah, so like I said, originally it was a
Love
love
it.
song, but then like it kind of developed. It can be for anybody, any relationship, any sort of anything really. Like, I think we all have that person that just makes us feel good. It could be a friend, a family member, a person you're in a relationship with. But yeah, so that's about my best friend Hazel.
That's so cool, and I love it when you sing something like that. Do you ever get emotional on stage when you think about, let's say, Hazel in this particular case? Does it? Have you gotten on stage, or when you sing that, are you thinking those things? Do you ever get choked up, and maybe you get choked up so much that it's a struggle to keep going on the song, or are you pretty much in control of all of that?
There's one song that I released. It's called Holy Waters. So I was raised Jewish, but I converted to Catholicism it'll be a year in June. I got baptized and confirmed and all that stuff. And I really wanted this past Easter to make a song. Like, I feel like my talent is from God, and I really wanted to give back to him what I felt he's given me. So I wrote this song called Holy Waters, and it's basically about my baptism and being forgiven for sins and all that stuff. And when I was recording it, I actually had a really hard time getting through the chorus because, yeah, like it's so emotional. And I feel like
Yeah.
if there's one song that is going to hit your heart, it's going to be that one. And
Amazing.
yeah, so
I love to hear that because I think people think that the way the media sometimes presents it is that musicians, it's all this produced, overproduced synthesizer kind of stuff. There's really no
absolutely.
instruments, no music, no real any thought goes into it. It's about the sound, but I disagree wholeheartedly. I don't know any artist who's a creative that doesn't feel something when there's a song that means something to them, especially if they've had a hand in writing it. So kudos to you. All right, tell them the
Thank
best way to reach you and get your music and find out more about Bennett.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm very active on my Instagram. So if you just go over to Instagram and search I'm Bennett Music, you can find me on there. All my social media handles are the same. I try to keep it cohesive. I'm Bennett Music. It's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find all my music either on my website at I'mBennettMusic.com. I'm on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, YouTube. You can hop on my YouTube. It's youtube.com/Bennett Music. I got a brand new music video coming out in 2 weeks. So I'm really excited for that. And yeah, all my other music videos are up
Awesome.
there as well. Yeah.
Y'all get behind these artists. Bennett's creative.
Thank you.
2020 was a challenge, and we want to embrace our artists.
That's
Go
right.
out and support them. Download their music. Buy their music would be really nice,
That would be
and
great.
certainly support them when they go out. It's a big deal to follow your passion, and I'm thankful that you shared your journey with us, Bennett. That was awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I really appreciate you having me.
All right, guys, go out. I'm BennettMusic.com or anywhere on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, or anywhere with @I'm Bennett Music on